Rick, you've shared so much about your own journey around mental health and healing. Tell me a little bit of how or what came into play in that healing journey.
A lot of it has been music.
Oh, tell me more.
I sell merchandise for different singer-songwriters,
Okay,
CDs, vinyls, and whatnot.
fun.
How it started, I started volunteering at a venue out in Delano, got to know so many musicians and artists, and so I sell to them different venues around town, the Astor, Harvard Ladder, whatever. But from that, I started doing music in my backyard.
Cool.
So I'll host concerts. And so, part of that story, the summer of COVID, 2 weeks after Trey passed, two singer-songwriters wrote and said, we're not doing any music, but we want to come to your house to sing to you and your family to cheer you up. And they did. That's how special they are all. So they're packing up. I said, this was just so special. I was having a tough day, the whole family. They said, Rick, this is the first live music we've done in almost a year.
Oh, wow.
We came up with the theme, music heals. And not just for grieving, for injuries, for Alzheimer's, dementia. There's been a lot of research about it. But people say, geez, it's a lot of work. Yeah, but it's very satisfying. So they came back a few weeks later, did a whole show.
In your backyard?
In my backyard.
Oh, cool.
That summer, I hosted about 6 more concerts.
Okay.
Over 300 people heard live music when nothing else was open.
Oh.
I mean, there were other things going on.
Sure.
But that's the background, and so I enjoy seeing people relax, be together, and it's all around music. And again, it's not about me, I get it back tenfold. These musicians are good friends.
Yeah.
They support me a lot, and I sure appreciate that.
Beautiful, beautiful. You are, I just, how I know you, you are so generous with your time. So how do you fit this commitment to the music into all the other areas that you donate your time at?
Great question. I'm actually backing away from some of my volunteer work in a good way. You know, time for the grandkids and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm only doing like 1 show a month now in my backyard. I used to do more.
Oh, wow.
Maybe next year I'll do fewer. I don't go to every venue. I don't go to every show.
Sure.
Yeah, I want to make sure everything is in balance.
And how does the, you alluded to this, that music heals, whether it's Alzheimer's, a loss, a grieving. Tell me a little more of like what the artists have sparked in your journey or others, the stories around the healing part of music.
A lot of it is that we hosted a Music Heals symposium.
Oh, yeah.
And I had singer-songwriters all with tragedies in their lives. And so they didn't write music for at least a year or so. Tragedies, you know, like one, his son took his own life. And then he didn't write music. He started writing music again and brought joy back into his life. All my speakers had a similar story. So if that can bring joy back into your life, that's important. So that's a lot about the healing value of music. But again, there's been a lot of research and even more research about that.
Do you have more you wanted to share? Do you want to tell me?
Well, through all of this though, I do have a very strong faith.
Yeah.
That has been right here. So that's part of it too.
And I like the village that you have that is helping surround you in the healing journey as well.
Thank you.
We know that God's part of that, as well as God puts the people in our lives to help us too. So grieving happens for all of us every day. How are you doing? How are you doing?
I always say, under the circumstances, I'm doing okay. I feel a lot of support from friends, family, my church, these musicians, they're all there. And a number of them said, Rick, if you're in a tough mood, call me 24/7.
Beautiful.
That makes me feel good. You know, and of course my Al-Anon, I've got a sponsor.
Yep.
So the point I always share is that, again, it's not a lot of work, but you have to make an effort. So if I haven't talked with a good friend for a while, I'll call. Hey, by the way, I'm so glad you called. And we pick up right where we left off. That's what we have to do. You cannot just do it alone.
Yeah.
So I don't get grumpy if somebody doesn't call me, hey, let's go to dinner. I'll call them.
Perfect. Yeah. It's human to forget that relationships are a give and take, right? We have to be willing to reach out to. Do you have well, maybe this is the advice, but do you have more advice that you have for others who might be struggling with either theirs or a loved one's mental health?
I would say find joy in whatever it is.
Oh, yeah.
There are hobbies, could be a job, could be family, but joy is so important, and companionship. Yeah. Take advantage of the resources.
Yeah.
And whoever you're concerned with, stay connected, no matter what.
How do you prioritize some of those relationships?
That's a hard question. They're all important.
Yeah.
I would say family number one.
Okay.
Especially those that are close to me.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends at church. That'd be number two. I have it on various groups there, you know.
Sure.
And then just basic friends, no particular order.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. I like to call it the circle of support. So
Absolutely.
I love who you have just in your circle, all those different. So now let's go to Mental Health Connect. You're an ambassador. How do you tell people what you do as an ambassador? How do you share more about what being an ambassador means to you and how it's helped in your healing journey? Tell me more.
You are absolutely right on with what we're trying to do, working through our ministers. There's more we can do, there's more we should do, there's more we will be doing. Again, maybe it's a resource table.
Sure.
I don't want a lot of brochures hanging on the wall. We talk about it, and we'll be doing more about that, not just with me, but the ministers. So they might get a call from somebody, hey, I'm just not feeling right about myself. Let's talk. That opens the door. And they know about Mental Health Connect. They know about ambassadors. They know about navigators. And that's how it has to grow. But I keep saying, and we all know it, we have to get our whole congregation more on board with what we're doing. And we will.
Yes. Yes. I remember an event we did years ago, and I remember you guiding, like, okay, we did this. Now how do we take what we learned and apply? And so it's like putting legs to the action. Kudos to you, because I see it in what you do all the time. So
that's how I end each of our symposiums. I thank the speakers, then I look right at the audience and say, okay, this was great, I think you enjoyed it. What will you do when you walk out the door with what you learned tonight? We go through so many seminars and Zooms or whatever. What will you do with it?
Yes.
I leave that in everyone's minds.
Sure. So so I'll turn it back to you. You've had these music folks come. What do you do after you've had the music heals?
I just look back on the great music, how satisfying, how relaxing. Think of nothing else going on. You know, for an hour and a half, you're just in a zone.
Yeah. And you're feeling all of it, right?
Feeling every bit of it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, your journey is a blessing. You've taught me and others, and I'm blessed that you're part of my circle.
Well, I get it.
Thank you.
I enjoy it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Just that I get it back.
Yeah. And you're a beautiful voice of care for Mental Health Connect too. So thank you. Blessings.